Hi, my name is Kelly DesRoches and this is Tower Talks. We are filming here at the Tower Club in Fort Lauderdale. And for those of you who don't know what the Tower Club is, it is a private and social club in the middle of downtown Fort Lauderdale, been around for 50 years. And what we do here is we create opportunities for our members to connect. We have 800 members in this location and we are affiliated with over 300 clubs nationwide. I created Tower Talks with the founder of Ion Channel, Jack Namer, to highlight the businesses and the industries of my members. With that being said, I would like to introduce you to the founder and CEO of Future Tech, Bob Venero. Hi, Bob.
Hello, Kelly. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. Thank you for being on Tower Talks. And my first question to you is, how did you become involved with the tech industry and how did you start Future Tech?
Great. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. We love the club and everything that is associated with it, and we're really excited to be a part of it. For me, the technology world I got into was over 27 years ago. It's not something that I thought I was going to do. I know I only look like 25, 26 years old, but it's not something I really felt growing up I was going to be in the industry for, but I had seen some technology handed to me very early on, and I really started to like it, and I decided at a point that I really wanted to get into that industry and understand it. And this was in probably 88, 89, 1988, 89 is when we really first started. And I started thinking about it. I started working for a company called CompUSA. For us old people, you may remember that it was a store that you could go buy computers at, kind of like a Best Buy or other organizations now. And it was an interesting world for me because it was a combination of retail and corporate. But I very quickly realized that they didn't understand how to work with corporate America. And so when I was there doing the work, it was a quick time before I decided to move on to another company in Manhattan called MicroAge. I was living on Long Island at the time, and I was commuting though to Manhattan, and that was not fun from Long Island. So if you hear about the terror commutes of being on a cold train, stuck with a ton of people, it was a very interesting time. But that's how I started to get more and more into the corporate area. Mm-hmm. And then very quickly I realized that my customers were buying from me, not really from the other company. And that commute was really, bearing down on me. And so I decided to see if I could work a couple of days at home a week. And I asked ownership and they said yes. And then 2 days turned to 3 days, and 3 days to 4 days. And then eventually I was like, why am I working for them? And so I decided at that point, I had a new house, a new baby, and I don't say a new wife because it's my first wife, and it still is.
The only wife.
Yes, my only wife. I decided, hey, maybe this is something I could do myself. And so I spoke to my customers, and I said, hey, listen, I'm thinking about doing this, and if I do, would you work with me still? And all of the customers said yes, they would. And at that point I said, all right, you know what? No risk, no reward. I actually was stressing about it for a long period of time. And then I was watching an infomercial from Tony Robbins, if you remember the motivational speaker. And basic tenets, right? No risk, no reward, set your goals, do things. And that gave me the lift to say, hey, I'm gonna go do this. And basically I decided, hey, let's start the company. I started in the basement of the house. I always say this, a credit card and a prayer, and then more credit cards, and then a lot more prayers to pay for the credit cards, and all of that, because we really self-funded it. And I brought partitions into the basement so I could have employees in the basement.
Wow.
It was really a cool, interesting time. And then a funny story about that was I had purchased a phone system that when you called, it had, for sales, press 1, for service, press 2, for engineering, press 3. And I had different family members put their voice on it at that time. Oh. It was me for sales, and Tracy for service, and my friend so that you appeared a lot bigger than you were. And that was, I don't want to say the word, fake it till you make it, but that's what it was back then.
Wow.
And, it's been 27 years. We have grown tremendously. We hit over $500 million in revenue this year. And so from, I think $10,000 the first year to, over $500 million. with complete organic growth. It's just been an amazing journey. We've met some great people along the way.
Thank you. Yeah, that's amazing. So I know that Future Tech has a lot of big companies that are partnered with you, like Microsoft, NVIDIA, Apple, Dell. So can you tell me a little bit about how you created these relationships? Being from a 10,000 a year company to a $500 million company, how did you create these relationships and how did you get them to partner with you?
Yeah, early on, we realized that it was very important to have strategic, powerful partnerships that are out there. And so when I was devising and defining the company, I really wanted to make sure that I had those right partnerships. And those partnerships have changed over the years, right? Where a company like NVIDIA today, who is the #1 AI company in the world, back in 1988, 89 was not that company, right? They were very different. And so you had to have some foresight to understand what things were going to look like in the future. And actually, we were one of Dell's first partners when they decided to come into the partner world. And Michael Dell flew out to New York. We had an incredible meeting together for the first time. Prior to that, we were, I don't want to say enemies, but we competed.
Oh, okay.
Because Michael was directly to the customer, and we were considered what the channel was. And when he decided he was going to go into the channel, I decided, hey, I want to partner with him. I want to align because I really understood his vision and where he was trying to go. And if you look at what Dell has accomplished, right, they are the largest technology provider in the world, bar none. And we've done billions of dollars with them. And we are, last year we were their federal partner of the year. The year before that, their federal partner of the year. The year before that, we were their strategic partner of the year. And so these relationships are key, and they're going to change over time and adjust because you don't know what the next thing is, right? You talk about AI today, and if you 10 years ago you said, would we be where we are with ChatGPT and all this today? I'd be like, well, probably not. Oh, that's a little scary, but here's where we are.
Right.
So they're keys, and they're keys for the tools in our toolbox to be able to talk to our customers about solutions and bringing value. We're that honest broker that drives the solutions with those different partners in those organizations, right, that we work with.
And I know that you do business with a lot of companies that have 10,000 employees or more. So these are big time companies that you're working with.
Yeah.
So what are your top 3 companies and what do you provide for their companies, like your technology solutions that you provide them?
Yeah, we work with the big guys, right? And that was the defining moment for the company when I started it, because I didn't want to have a lot of small companies because I felt that it was a lot more work to have a lot of smaller companies versus if you spend more time and getting the big dogs, right? You can build, you can build better relationships with those organizations, and they can trust you as a solution provider to be able to do things for them. When we came down to Florida, Northrop Grumman, who's been a customer of ours for 27 years, Kathy Warden, their CEO, came and did the ribbon cutting here, and which was an amazing thing, right? You had I forget how many billions, they were like 30 or 40 billion dollar company come, and their CEO is doing the ribbon cutting at little old Future Tech, right here in Fort Lauderdale, which is amazing. And we work with companies like them, Johns Hopkins, right, McKesson, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, General Dynamics, and the list goes on and on of these types of organizations that we work with, and we help provide technology solutions for the things that they're trying to do. We really try to create and understand what their goals are as a company, and then with all the stuff that we do as an organization, how can we help them accomplish their goals?
Okay.
And to us, that's key. And the Tower Club has been very important in helping us in fulfilling some of those additional relationships and being here in a quieter environment to have lunch and business relationships and things to that effect.
Yeah, it's important. We always try to make the atmosphere like a successful experience so you can get business done at the tower.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so you're located in 170 countries too, right?
Yeah, so international was big for us. We went international about 10 years ago because most of the companies that we work with, they're not small mom and pop shops, right? So they have international presences. So what we wanted to do was be able to support them in the country. So we can support 170 countries. We are in 35 countries directly as Future Tech, which is a very big lift, and it's really fun to manage all of the chaos associated with that, especially with geopolitical challenges that are out there today. So, but we've got a great team of folks that really help the international component, and we're on a hiring tear right now bringing on more and more people. I think we hired like 35 or 40 people in the last 3 weeks to a month. It's been crazy.
How many people, how many employees do you have at your company right now?
So
in total, you think?
Yeah, so we have, there's well over 300 without contractors, but then I have multiple companies in support of our customers. So you have Future Tech Enterprise, then I have another company called Future Tech Fulfillment Solutions, Future Tech Veterans Solutions, right, supporting veterans, and it's a service disabled veterans organization that we have, and then VTech, which is a hub zone, historical underutilized business zone, and that's in Plano, Texas. So combined, there's quite a few employees that we have.
Okay, and your headquarters are here in Fort Lauderdale?
Headquarters are in
right there.
Good old sunny Fort Lauderdale, yeah. Yeah, and it's been an amazing journey to move from New York to here, to a state and a governor who really appreciates business, right? And the capitalism associated with that. It's been a game changer for us, and so we're very, very thankful that we made that move, besides the tan. I got, you know, I mean, the tan is great, and the beautiful weather. I mean, these horrible things that, you know, Fort Lauderdale gives us.
Well, thank you so much for coming here today. If you have anything to tell everybody, just use the time now.
Yeah, no, look, Fort Lauderdale, Florida is an amazing business, a place to do business. We're very happy to be here. We're very happy to be a part of the Tower Club. Kelly does an amazing job in bringing people together. So if you're not a member of the Tower Club, get in here, meet some of your folks, and have a good day.
Thank you so much for joining us on Tower Talks. In the link below, we will have Future Tech and Tower Club's websites. If you're interested in membership, you could always contact me. Tower Talks will be streaming on all Tower Club and Ion channel platforms. And until next time.